Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I try to keep y'all entertained as much as possible, even though I'm a busy man. See, this isn't what I do for a living. I have other things that I have to do, like running a company. So, of course, I try to pump out videos as often as I can, so bear with me. I will start putting out more videos as possible, the more free time that I get. But I had come across a video about Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, Myron Gaines, Andrew Tate's brother, and 𝗧𝘁𝗍𝗶𝗶, who were partying together. They were on a party bus. They got, well, let me run it back. They were on the party bus, and y'all know how videos are fake nowadays. AI is running rampant. There's fake videos everywhere. People are able to create fake videos, and the song that was playing on the party bus was Heil Hitler from, well, by none other than Yeezy, Kanye West, West, whatever he calls himself nowadays. So it is a song that has officially been banned in many countries. It's been banned. They were dancing and singing to that song on the party bus. Myron Gaines, Nick Fuentes, and the other cohorts. So they get off of the bus, and to my understanding, they had them play Heil Hitler in the club. Of course, we know that controversy sells. We know this. Controversy sells. If I want to get your attention, then I will do the craziest shit on social. If I want to get your attention, then I will do the craziest shit on social media. Controversy sells. You know, clickbait and all that good stuff. But that is not to say that I did not see Andrew Tate dancing or singing along on the party bus. I don't know what he might have done in the club because I wasn't there. So a lot of things that we do online is for shock value. Yes, it's for shock value because it drives traffic to our sites. Shock value. So I'm not sure why they did this. I don't know. All I know is these are supposed to be the leaders of the young men coming up. They're supposed to be the leaders doing shit like this. Now, Andrew Tate decided to sit down with the PBD podcast, Pat Bet Davis, and I keep saying Davis, Pat Bet David, and have a conversation with him about this incident on the party bus and at the club, and I am curious to find out what he has to say. Before we continue, I need y'all to do 3 things for me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this video so someone else can do the very same thing. And if they don't, then we're going to send the PBD podcast after them.
Some songs being played, some text messages, phones blowing up. And
I didn't hear what happened.
Yeah, so there was this group of guys that were hanging out playing this song in a city, Miami, where most of the clubs are owned by this community that the song was bashing. You know, by Kanye West, and then everybody reacted. As a matter of fact, why don't we do this, Tate, to just kick it off?
Sure.
Good to have you back on here.
Play it.
I'm glad to be back with the guys.
This looks like the cigar lounge from Madrid.
Exactly. Yes, it does.
It's not. We are, let's pick a city we're in right now. We're right now in
Miami.
We're in Barcelona right now.
Nice.
Okay, Barcelona, Florida. Somewhere in Barcelona, Florida is where we are right now.
Big difference between Miami and Fort Lauderdale, Vinny, right?
100%.
Okay, so why don't we do this though? On a serious note, so let's play this clip, Rob, and then Tate will just start off with this clip, what the news is saying, and we'll come.
It's on the news. I'm glad they're about to play it. I want y'all to know.
You made the news. Channel 7, Miami. So, Rob, if you want to play this clip, go for it.
People laughing and celebrating Heil Hitler and Adolf Hitler. I cannot believe we're even seeing this and witnessing Miami Beach.
A Miami Beach nightclub catching heat, accused of celebrating hate with a song about Hitler.
Absolute disgust.
Disgusted, horrified.
City leaders reacting to videos making the rounds on social media featuring the Kanye West song with the lyrics Heil Hitler over and over again. The same men seen in the club, known as controversial influencers, are also in a video from a limo. In that one, they're singing, and one of them is performing a Nazi salute.
To have people in our city celebrating this. Animals.
This is obviously not welcome in Miami Beach. It should not be welcome anywhere in the world.
And by the way, I spoke to other club operators. They are not welcome in their club. How they got into this club, open arms, I want to know how.
The videos are from Saturday night. This one inside the Club Vendome at 743 Washington Avenue. The club releasing a statement on social media that reads in part, "We want to be unequivocally clear. Vendome and our hospitality group do not condone anti-Semitism, hate speech, or prejudice of any kind." It goes on to state, "We are deeply disturbed by the harm caused by this incident and the circulation of this footage." The post explains the business is looking into safeguards and procedures to make sure this doesn't happen again. As for the men in the video celebrating the song, the mayor
You can pause it at this time.
I barely even see me.
And then
Just so y'all know, after seeing this video the other day and observing it now with you, I have definitely decided to step up my content game. I've definitely decided to step up my social media presence because I realized that if you don't do something about the problems and the issues that are out here in the world that are detrimental to society, then you are just as complicit as the problem. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? You're just as complicit as the problem. It's just like that person who watches another person get victimized and they don't do anything about it. You're just as complicit as the person, as the victimizer, because you didn't do anything about it. Whether it is because you're scared, you're worried, or you just don't care, you're selfish. You don't want to get involved in someone else's issues or problems. It doesn't matter. You're just as complicit. And if I don't do something about how these young men or who these young men are following and viewing now, then I'm just as complicit as the men who don't do shit about it, as the men who sit back and allow shit like this to happen, because I watch all of these guys. Why? Because I keep an open mind about everything. I keep an open mind about everything, and that's something you're going to learn about me, is that when it comes to taking sides, I don't care. Why? Because my side may not be the right side. My side may not be the right side. That's the reason why I don't take sides. I just don't care. It's all about doing what is right for your community, doing what is right for the world, doing what is right for your country, doing what is right for your family. That's all that matters. Now, who determines what's right and wrong? You do, based on your perspective of whatever it is you're involved in. Yes, that's why it's a problem when you have certain people who are leading others, because from their perspective, they see themselves as being righteous. Think about that for a second. They see themselves as being righteous, while other people see them as being evil. Who's right and who's wrong? Think about that for a second. And Andrew is completely right. He's totally right. When he got off the bus, he wasn't dancing nor singing. And I hardly saw him in those clips. But is he as complicit as those who were involved in that song and singing that song?
Any of this,
Yeah.
firstly. But I want to be very careful here because I don't want to deflect too heavily. I don't want to be blaming other people, etc. A whole bunch of songs were played that night, none of which I requested. None. I walk into a nightclub and songs are played. Unfortunately,
That's
if anything
true.
happens anywhere near me, it gets tied to my name. If someone got shot in that club, they would have said, Andrew Tate's in a nightclub where this man got shot. I didn't shoot him. I didn't pull the trigger. I don't know who the fuck he is.
That's true.
I was there and the song was played. The actual conversation I think that's interesting to have when it comes to this is the nature of the internet and the nature of influencing in general. Because I think we're living in a world now where only shock value seems to get anybody's attention
Didn't I say that?
significant period of time, because everyone's dopamine receptors are completely fried. So all of these young influencers or
said
anyone
it.
on the internet who's trying to make any name for themselves is trying to be as controversial and shocking as possible, as quickly as possible. And that's why the song was played, because it gets views. That's why. I didn't play it. I didn't ask them to play it. I didn't dance. I didn't sing. In fact, the only time you see me on there is me storming out of the bus, saying this is ridiculous and leaving. But I know why it was played. It was played because of this. It was played because it gets traction in a world where everybody is bored of everything all of the time. And that's why these young people are encouraged constantly to try and do the most shocking thing possible. You see this not just with this song, you see this on all their streams. They're running people over and doing retarded shit constantly. So
that's a fact.
I'm not here to make excuses for myself. I'm not here to say it wasn't me. I'm not here to, blame someone else. But it is kind of ridiculous. It does feel a bit unfair that I'm standing in a nightclub. A song comes on that I did not request. A song comes on that I do not dance to. I do not repeat the lyrics to. I just stand there. And then they want to attribute somehow the song playing to me and it all being my fault.
That's a fair argument, but I'll to the average person that's watching it, back in the days when I'm younger, I'm in a car with a guy who I get out of the military. It's December 23rd, 97. The guy's got a bunch of pot in the back of his trunk. Cops come out.
Yep.
And I'm in the Army, and my guy's calling me, telling me, hey, you got to figure something out. You can't be involved in something like this.
Yep.
So guilty by association, it's the first thing they're going to say. You hung out with these guys. When I watched the video, Andrew, with you and them, Tristan looks extremely uncomfortable.
He does.
And the way you were smiling, because I saw a lot of, everyone's texting me. You and I communicate, we have conversations together. You look extremely uncomfortable as well.
He did.
You're smiling, but you're not, already what's going to happen. It was almost a look where I said, Tate knows what's about to happen next.
Yeah, the shock value really isn't worth it to me. I mean, I've said some shocking things and people will believe my brand is built on shock value, but I think they're at least shocking opinions. I like to think that I'm sitting there saying, this is my opinion. You may find it shocking, but this is what I truly believe. These are my worldviews. And perhaps there's a lot of people who agree with me, disagree with me, but to just shock and offend purely for the purpose of shocking and offending, I think that that's something that has plagued the internet for a while, but it's getting worse and worse. And you notice it across the entire streaming world because people are struggling to get any kind of views or shake people out of apathy. And when I talk to anybody below 25 who's doing anything on the internet, their only intention is to be as shocking and therefore as offensive as possible. That's what they're sitting there.
Did I not tell y'all this? Shock value. Did I not say this at the beginning of the video? And y'all have to remember, I have not seen this yet. This is my first time watching this. I said it. It's all about shock value. And it's honestly something that I refuse to do. I'm not going to get into doing things for the shock value of it, where it drives traffic to my site, to my page. No, the way I'm going to do that is by being 1,000% honest and truthful with y'all, because then y'all are going to share my videos, like my videos, and tell others about my videos. That's all it is. And if you don't do that, well, sooner or later you're going to, because of how much I work to get you some of this latest information. So I'm not going to do anything that involves shock value because I have morals. See, some people don't have morals. It's all about the dollar. And that's what it's all about. Because the more traffic you drive to your social media, to your page, of course, the more dollars you make. The more money you make. Yes. So, is it worth the advertisement? No, it's really not, because if you think about it, most companies will not be tied to you if you're involved in shock value content, because it probably offends someone and they may lose what? Customers based on that, right? Right.
They're thinking, how do I get everybody to panic within 3 seconds? Otherwise, they're going to scroll past me. And that's what people are doing. That's the world we live in.
Why hang out with them?
Well, I haven't seen them in a long time. It's the first time I met two of them. It's the first time I met Clav and Nick. I spoke to them online, but it's the first time I ever met them. I hadn't seen 𝗧𝘁𝗍𝗄 in a while.
You and Nick have never met each other?
Never met.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Never met.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the Braden guy, Clav, whatever his name is, he's new.
First time I ever met them.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, they were nice guys when I met them. It's the first time I've spoken to them. I sat down with them, and I don't think they even put the song on. I can't. I have to guess. I think 𝗧𝘂𝗍𝗄 may have put the song on, who I'd met many times before. But it was a long night. It was 6 or 7 hours in which, for 2 minutes of it, someone got a phone and put a song on. It wasn't me. And now it's all over the news. So I just think that the main reason this is being done is because shock value is what people are optimizing for with their content primarily. And then we can have another conversation entirely about why anti-Semitism is on the rise in the first place, because I have a theory about that also. And I think that the main reason anti-Semitism is on the rise across America, because there's no doubt about it that it is because young men are being told that Jews control the system and young men are being screwed by the system. It doesn't mean it's true. I'm not going to sit here and say that Jews completely and utterly control the system. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you tell young men that and they believe that, even if it's not true, and they're getting screwed by the system, that's why people are anti-Semitic. There was no anti-Semitism when a man could afford a house. And there was no anti-Semitism when a man could get a wife. And there's no anti-Semitism when he looked around and felt part of his community. But people are so disenfranchised now with the places they're living in and the society they're forced to live within, and they feel so disconnected from everything. They've become revolutionary. Young men of the world are revolutionary. They're looking for somebody to blame. They're told it's the Jews, so that's why they're being anti-Semitic. That's the truth about what is happening.
And it's
hey, that's one thing I can say about Andrew Tate. Hate him or love him, he tells you how it is, and that's the God's honest truth. When you are told to hate a certain group of people because those people control the world, they control the system that you believe is also holding you down, holding you back, because you were told that a system is holding you back. That's the reason why you can't afford to put food in your refrigerator, to pay your rent, to put gas in your car. You can't even afford to go to work. You can't afford to take a vacation. Who are you going to channel your anger towards? That group, right? So that's exactly what is happening, and exactly why there's a rise in anti-Semitism. He's absolutely right about that. He's not lying. But guess what, though? This is all by design. Believe it or not, this is all by design. I read a lot, and this is how I know a lot. Trust and believe. Not to mention, I've experienced a lot. I'm not as young as I look, but I've experienced a lot. And I've spoken to a lot of people. So I know exactly what I'm talking about, and he's not lying.
Funny though, Andrew, like, what's Nicholas Sneak? He's a grown man. I'm going to call him his real name. He's Filipino, Haitian, and his father is of Jewish descent. So on top of that, it doesn't make any sense. He's the Jew. So you're going to go to a town that's predominantly a lot of Jewish-owned businesses. You're technically Jewish too. You're playing that song, and then when you get in trouble for it, you're screaming anti-Semitism, and it's all the Jews run everything, and it's ridiculous. And I think in that sense too, Andrew, they use you, which I know you're upset. You have to be. They use you to play that song to be like, look who's with us. And you're right. I saw you. You walked right out, and even in the nightclub, you were kind of like whatever. But I would be even more livid because coming from a guy that has a Jewish father, brings you in, plays the Hitler song, and then you're the only guy that's going to catch real flack for it.
Yeah, I think it was, so if I'm going to be optimistic, it was short-sighted by them. If I'm going to be pessimistic, it was certainly very, I mean, I wouldn't say they set me up, but they should have known that, this is going to cause a whole bunch of flack for me, specifically.
In Miami.
In Miami, of course. But if I'm totally honest with you, I don't think that any of them are deeply anti-Semitic genuinely, and I don't think that any of them really thought it through. Honestly, I think they're just kids. I think they're just kids. It gets a reaction. They think they're funny. They're on the internet. They need a reaction. They want likes, and they did some fucking dumb shit. That's what I think it is. I think they're just literally retarded.
How old is Nicholas? If you don't, how old? I know.
I don't know. They're all young. They're all in their young 20s or something.
I would love to agree with you, brother, but they're not all kids. By the way, nobody online or in the Jewish community defends you more online or behind the scenes than me.
I appreciate that, sir. I appreciate that.
I had dinner with Tristan and Justin Wall the other day. I got the call. It's Sunday. You ruined my day. At the very least, you ruined my Sunday.
Bro, I woke
with my nephew.
I woke up. I was like, what the
feel
fuck?
you. And I get a call from not one person, not two, everybody.
Yep.
Your brother, you're texting me, Justin Waller, the club owners, the DJ, everyone, the mayor.
The bathroom attendant.
Like, the bathroom attendant, I tip him good, he called me.
Who's Cuban, but go ahead.
But they're not all kids. We know Myron's almost 40.
Yeah.
You're almost 40.
Yep.
Tristan's 35.
Yep.
This ain't kid stuff. So what I think is I actually believe you. You think I'm going to wait for 5 years of working with you, friendship with you, to throw you under the bus last minute? That's not how we roll. But I think Sneeko played the song.
Yeah.
I think Tristan explicitly told me that Sneeko played the song. I think when you sort of diffuse the situation, they're kids being kids. Myron, who, you know how much time we've spent with Myron.
Yep.
This That ain't no kid stuff.
Well, Myron's not a kid, and he's a really good friend of mine.
I agree.
And Myron's not a kid, you're right. I don't know if 𝗧𝘁𝗍𝗄 played the song, 𝗧𝘁𝗍𝗄 played the song. I'm telling you from my perspective, and I want to make it something.
But how do you feel about that? Because let me ask you a specific question.
Sure.
Do you know how much time I spent with your brother and Justin Waller at 9 o'clock on Sunday? I left at 3 in the morning. Serious conversations, laughs. Of course, we're having Blue Label.
Yeah.
And Tristan, in my perspective, is like, dude, I'm done with these people. That's my perspective. I'll let him speak for himself. But he told me a story about your grandfather.
Yep.
Who served in World War II, yes?
Yes.
The American.
Yep.
What would your grandfather say about that? A neo-Nazi symbol who fought the Nazis.
Yeah, I understand.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. That is something I can never agree with. And I don't care if you did it for shock value or whatever type of value it is, it's disgusting. Because you know what it represents. And you know what it stands for. And it stands for hate. We all know this. So is that what you are putting out there to the young kids, to the young men who are watching you, who you are supposed to be a leader to? And this is speaking about Myron Gaines, because he was one of the ones that, or the only one that did that Nazi salute. It's disgusting. And he knows that. But Myron also does shit for shock value because he's all about running up the bag and he doesn't care. He knows how to run the system. See, y'all got to know how to play the game, and he knows how to play the game. He knows exactly what to do in order to get people talking about him. And when people talk about him, guess what? He stays relevant. He makes more money. People watch him. Yeah. Andrew Tate was the most Googled man in, I think, 2020, 2021, some shit like that. So Myron Gaines knows what he's doing, but at the same time, he is willing to risk it all in order to get some views, which is crazy to me. But that's how some people roll, and that's how some people are.
And we have to be very, very careful. I understand exactly what you're saying. I agree that that is offensive to many people. I totally understand it. And I'm not here to get myself.
It's offensive to Americans.
Well, yes.
Forget about just Jews. American lives died fighting Nazis.
That's true. That's true.
Your grandfather's friends died fighting Nazis. That, to me, Jews or not Jews, Americans went to war against Nazis. This is an American thing. I wear an American flag pin, not an Israeli flag pin, not a global flag pin, certainly not an LGBT flag, American flag pin.
Yep.
My grandfather fought in World War II.
Yep.
So to me, this is anti-American. And I'm cool with Myron. I used to be cool with Myron, but how am I going to hang out with that? How are you going to hang out with that?
That's a fact.
I've known Myron for a very long time. He's been a great friend of mine. And I have to make this very clear to the world. I have a whole bunch of friends who do a whole bunch of shit that perhaps I would not do myself, or I may not 100% agree with. But that doesn't mean they're not my friends, and I don't speak to them. I have to be honest here, guys. I'm really not trying to do some big apology tour. And the reason for that is because I really didn't do anything wrong. So I want to make this clear.
That's
I
true.
understand why some people were offended. I understand they want to attach it to my name. I understand that it gets clicks in the media if you say Andrew Tate did X, Y, Z. I got on a bus. Full-grown men made decisions while I sat on my phone. I then got off the bus and stood in a nightclub while other people played songs while I sat on my phone. If they want to crucify me for that, that's up to them. Myron made the Nazi salute because he thought it was funny. That's Myron to come here and defend.
Of course.
It's not for me to sit here and come here and defend. Myron is someone I know and I respect and I like. Even if he did something that offended me, even if I found that offensive, I would still say, okay, well, I like Myron. I have a whole bunch of friends who do a whole bunch of things that I don't like. I have black friends, white friends. I have every single type of friend you can have. We have the most racist group chat in the world. This is the world I live in, right? And I think that the reason the anti-Semitism issue is so sensitive is, one, because of the prevalence, especially online. And I'm not gonna lie, I see it everywhere myself. I'm not even Jewish. It must be scary to see it absolutely everywhere online. The reason for that, I've just given you my theory as to why. That's the first reason. Second thing, of course, is World War II, and a lot of people died in the name of defending Jews. Of course, I understand that completely. But then thirdly, and I'd like to have an actual open and honest conversation about this. Don't we think, and I actually want your opinions, the fact that a song came on and the reaction has been so fierce and so, not aggressive, but it's so clear that songs like this can't be played without meeting genuine power in the world. Don't you think to somebody who is completely detached from this situation, somebody at home who has nothing to do with this situation, watches it and sits and goes, ah, see, they are in charge of everything. I'm asking.
This is the perfect, by the way, I'm so grateful we're having this conversation because the world needs to see this.
Yeah.
If this was played in any other city, Tate, you would not see this reaction.
Got it.
Can I explain something?
Sure.
Miami Beach, they don't play this game, dog.
Well, clearly.
You're not gonna Mamdani Miami.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
By the way, Stephen Miner, the mayor, Joe Magazine, David Suarez, you have a Jew and an Italian and a Cuban walk into a nightclub and they say, we don't play this game, homie. We see what's going on in the world, and every Jew, every capitalist, every billionaire leaving California, leaving New York, they're like, where can we go? You know how Governor DeSantis said, Florida's where woke goes to die.
Good friend of mine.
Your boy. Florida is where woke goes to die. Well, you know what? Miami is where racism goes to die. And by the way, I'm an equal opportunity employer when it comes to racism.
Yep.
Stand-up comedian, former stand-up comedian.
Yep.
One day PBD is gonna get his shot. We know about that. And I would say this, it's not racist if you make fun of everybody. Anybody can get it.
So I'm clear.
We got a black guy there, we got an Italian guy there.
So I'm clear.
We got a gay guy there, I don't know, Nick Fuentes, gay, whatever it is. But it's only bad when you single out one group.
Yeah, of course.
So that's the challenge that you're gonna happen. So all these guys that basically own the clubs, run the city, it's not just Jews. Cubans, Venezuelans, Jamaicans, Haitians.
Yeah.
It's one big melting pot, Miami. And the universal truth in Miami is, don't bring that BS here. I'll explain why, and then I want to hear your perspective, obviously. Sure. Jews have fled anti-Semitism, came to Miami. Mm-hmm. Half of South America, looking in the room here,
that's a fact.
Fled communism, socialism, comes to Miami. Haitians flee corruption, come to Miami. Italians flee fascism, come to Miami.
That's a fact.
The reason that Miami is that city is because they all know what the rest of the world looks like.
Yeah.
It's the port.
That's why you're getting this reaction. Any other city, you're not going to get this. Okay?
I think you've lived in a bubble where you think Miami's the only place. Thank God you lived in Addison for a year and a couple other places. I think this is bigger than that to me. And by the way, I'd like to go to the next topic. Let's do a couple other things on this and let's move on to the next few topics to get into. I think, Tate, for me, it's a different conversation for you because every year when a new year starts, it's about how am I recreating myself for the next level. You know, when I was in my 20s, my buddy promoted a club called Club Jerk in Melrose, and then we used to go to Pimps and Hoes, and we used to go to, no, literally, I don't know if you ever heard of Pimps and Hoes.
It's a great name.
We used to go, it was literally called Pimps and Hoes in Vegas. I don't know if you want to pull it up or not.
Human trafficking.
They was, yeah. No, they would put the biggest clubs with 20,000 people show up. And LA had a nightclub called Club Naked. You know, you had all these different places to go to. And friends that you had that would do different things. And then one day I'm like, I got to recreate myself. And I'm going to the next level.
I totally understand your point. Nick Fuentes says a lot of things I agree with. I don't agree with everything he says. I've seen clips of him say things and I found them very funny. I had never met him before. Clav's blown up online. He's doing things. I've seen some clips. I'd never met him before. I got to Miami for the first time in a long time. They said, guys, let's meet up. We met up. 𝗧𝘁𝗍𝗄 came along. We went out. They played a song. For me, I understand what you're saying. Like, I need to reinvent myself and I have all these charges.
If you choose to, you don't have to.
Of course, but I have all these charges and I have the potential to have a brand new image and I'm one of the best, most well-known people on the planet. If I meet somebody for the first time or I meet people and hang out with them for 6 or 7 hours and the entire thing is filmed and 30 seconds blows up, I understand. And I'm really not trying to just pass blame and I'm not trying to make excuses. But truthfully, I don't see what I should have done differently besides say, oh, I've never met you before, you haven't been vetted, I'm never going to meet anybody ever. Or sit in a car and say, sorry guys, because I'm in this car, we must cut off the Bluetooth. Let me take everybody's phone from them. Like, it is what it is.
I see what he's saying.
I understand how these things get attached to my name. It's very inconvenient for me. I have Jewish business partners. I have tech teams in Israel. I have things going on, and I get a mess from this crap too. I can argue that I was set up. I can argue that 𝗧𝘁𝗲 wasn't thinking. I can argue that they were just trying to chase clicks. I could argue it was malicious or not malicious. But truthfully, from the bottom of my heart, truthfully, I'm not here to beg sorry from anybody. I was in a van and I was in a club. That club also played songs about beating the shit out of women and shooting fucking black people. I didn't put any of the songs on. I'm not the DJ. And I think actually, truthfully, and we have to analyze this from an outside perspective. I'm not saying this as me. I'm saying this from a complete outsider. Everybody understands the scenario I just explained. Everybody's been in a car with people they don't know when someone else has the Bluetooth. Everybody has. So everybody can sit and say, well, if he's getting such a hard time over this, obviously some of the conspiracy theories must be true. Like, what did I do here? If the Jewish community want to come to me and say, Andrew, we're going to drive you out of Miami or put a bullet in your head, I'll say, well, then do it, because I just sat in a car. I'm really not going to sit here and beg sorry for sitting in a car. I sat in a car. And perhaps, yes, I should be more careful with the company I keep, correct. I'd never met half of these people ever before. They're some of the most famous people in the world. If you go and meet some of the most well-known people on the planet, and one of them sniffs coke, is it your fault? Are you going to sit and say, I met an actor, he's really famous, he's one of the biggest guys in the world, and he got photographed sniffing coke, and because you're relevant, they say, Patrick Bet-David caught up in drug scandal. What are you supposed to do?
Not a
what are you supposed to do?
damn thing.
Grab the men by their throat when they grab a phone to put on a Bluetooth? Like, I totally understand some people are offended by it. I get it. And perhaps maybe I'm just numb. Perhaps I've been through so much shit in my life that my brain's just numb. Perhaps. But if you were to put on a song, any song, saying, I hate half-black loudmouths, I wouldn't give a fuck.
I'd put you on the cover.
But that's the truth.
And I see exactly what Andrew Tate is speaking about. They're probably about to get on another topic, but I wanted to touch on this right here because it's on the lips of half of the country, probably half of the world by now. Because to play an offensive song like that, plus do a Nazi salute at the same time, you were either looking for clicks and views, or you were just looking to be malicious. Either way, Andrew Tate is remaining loyal to his friends. That's just what it is. And I know exactly why he's remaining loyal to Myron, because Myron Gaines backed him up while he was in jail. Myron Gaines was one of the only people that actually stood up for him, did several podcasts defending Andrew Tate as being innocent. So Andrew Tate is doing what in return? He is being loyal to the one friend who was loyal to him when he was locked up and facing jail time. So I get it. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Either way, he's right. He's a grown-ass man that sat on a bus, went into a club where they played music that he had no control over. Until next time. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.